Man, what is Prison Mate Luke up to? Can we save Prison Mate Luke? Is it time to bring him back? So Prison Mate Luke was one of these creators that just made like pretty bottom of the barrel videos. I mean, even for like commentary videos, he made bottom of the barrel videos. I think the first time I was illuminated to his existence was during the pyrocynical stuff, and he kind of flip-flopped a bit on that situation. And then there was some other drama he had that people just decided he was like a loser or something, but I don't even know what. I don't even honestly know what it was. He had some popular videos though. Yandere Dev, 1.7 mil, Mini Lad 1.2, The Truth Behind Louis Calibre, whoever that is. But he was just kind of like an uncharismatic, boring guy, had a bad voice, didn't do good research. I think it was just like there was no one else doing like slop drama content for a bit there on the topics he was doing. And as a result, he was able to basically ride that to success. The Game Grumps have a lot of controversies.
I'm going to assume all of you at least know who the Game Grumps are. They're one of the biggest original type of gameplay channels on the platform. When I say original, I mean they'll record a game for 20 minutes with very little editing type of gameplay channel that was all over YouTube back in the early 2010s. Not that there's no effort behind that or that there's no editing in their videos. It's just that this type of gameplay channel has been sidelined.
You just described yourself. Okay, not to be too egotistical, but in fairness, if we're being honest, okay, I'm like a 6 out of 10 funny. I'm like kind of funny. I have like a pretty good narration voice. I actually think that's one thing I do have this guy didn't have. My editing is better than this guy in terms of the like every video I put out. And my research is also better. I try not to put out poorly researched videos. It does happen now and then. I put out videos that are pretty well informed, pretty well done. So I would disagree, even though that's funny. Tom, have you seen the Doja Cat Sam Hyde stuff? People on Twitter are trying to cancel a guy who's already been blacklisted. Realistically, there's nothing like people can do to Sam Hyde that people haven't already done to him, right? Like he's lost every opportunity. He could be banned from YouTube today and he would still be fine because he has the gum road. So realistically, there's no way you can cancel Sam Hyde, right? Tom hires people to edit and research. That's true. I'm a proud Tom Glazer for life. What would your persona be? Do you like Cheeto? I think he can use some work, but he's making decent content. I do like Cheeto. Cheeto, I will say, some of the videos are just kind of like, I feel like he could pick topics better. And I've told him this before. He knows this. Some of the topics he chooses are just like kind of like whatever. I mean, I'm definitely guilty of that too, but yeah, they're pretty good. Also, I don't really care about Rachel Ziegler. Is she that annoying? She might be, and I just don't really know it. But overall, I'm just kind of, I'm tuned out with a lot of the culture war type stuff. I find it very stupid, and I can't even force myself to care. I actually do care about like internet happenings and drama, which makes it hypocritical a little bit when I'm like, who cares about Rachel Ziegler? Because that's basically the same tier of stuff. That stuff in particular, I just find super like stuff that the quartering would want to cover. Like I can't bring myself to give up flying duck about that. Okay, you go to the quartering, you look up quartering Rachel Ziegler. I mean, this guy is a fiend with the videos. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This isn't his video, is it? But he's made a ton of videos about her. I don't really care, I don't really care.
Newly updated, new and improved Brown Snow White. Everyone's supposed to
new and improved Brown Snow White.
Make sure they bow down and thank Disney for this. Miss Ziegler has an interesting history with sending hate mobs on the internet to fellow women, including actress Gina Carano.
I'm sorry, bro. I just can't. I can't bring myself to care about. I can't bring myself to care about Snow White. I just can't. I don't care. I don't care about Snow White. Okay. And I've tried sometimes with this stuff where I'll try to make myself care. There's only so much that I can handle realistically, right? And I'm not gonna act like I'm better than anyone else because I don't care, because I'm not. Because the stuff I care about is like, who should care about DSP? Nobody should care about DSP. Nobody should care about Chris Chan. Nobody should care about lolcow stuff. Like almost everything on my channel is like. So I'm not acting like I'm better. I just personally can't bring myself to care about the new Snow White and that she's like Mexican or something. Like I don't care. I don't care at all. Grizzly Bear 1996 member for 7 months. Thank you very much, buddy. He says, LFG, how are you, Tom? I'm doing good, man. How are you doing? Drew Minks, thanks for becoming a member.
For more edited content with people playing more modern games. It used to be run by Ego Raptor and JonTron before JonTron left to do his own thing, so they replaced him with Dan Avidan. And I used to watch him a lot when I was younger, and I still do watch some of their compilations every now and then. And honestly, the Sonic Boom series is one of my favorite things on YouTube. But that being said, they've been doing a lot of questionable things. What's weird is that I had not heard about any of this until I got an email a couple days ago. The person wants to remain secret, but they said I should look into them more. And honestly, it was weird how easy.
What are the comments like? What are the actual controversies? I find the fans to be more problematic than the Grumps themselves. Dude, this word problematic is triggering to me. If you say problematic, it's over for you, okay? Your brain is just liquid. Dan's thing is something Dan directly addressed and wasn't too proud of. It was part of the growing up process, and frankly, considering how many people in society conduct themselves like that, especially these days, remorselessly, he's fine. As someone who had their coming out moment taken away from them, I really have no sympathy for the GG fans who doxed Ding Dong and told his parents he was gay. Did they do that? Did Game Grumps fans dox someone named Ding Dong and tell his parents he was gay? I mean, to be honest, his name was Ding Dong. If his parents knew he had a YouTube channel named Ding Dong, dong they probably already knew. I've never seen someone go from high horse to barely keeping their head above water. What is going on here? What did the fans do to Ding Dong, bro? What did the fans do to Ding Dong? I think you're mostly okay for becoming a member.
Easy it was to find all the shady and scummy stuff they've done. What's also weird to me is how little people have talked about them. I mean, there are
What are the shady and scummy things they've done?
videos of people talking about them and why they don't watch them anymore, or talking about some of the controversies. But despite doing a lot of things that people have...
Suzy's Etsy scam. Suzy was caught buying several items from other vendors and then reselling them at an over 2,000% markup. Product 1, vendor $2.99, Suzy $80. Product 2, vendor $7 for 2, Suzy $80. Suzy originally denied these claims, but as more information surfaced, she eventually apologized. Is Suzy Suzy is Arin Hansen's wife? That sounds genius to me. That's what I'm saying, dude. That sounds genius. Why is she apologizing? That sounds genius. That sounds like you got rich. That sounds like you figured out a way to make a bag. Drew Minks for 20 says, you rock, Tom. Keep making great content. XQC don't know you, little bro. Very true. Thanks for the 20, man. I appreciate it.
canceled other YouTubers for.
Game Grumps fans are the same fans Super Mega imported for themselves, since the Super Mega guys were frequent Game Grumps invites. So are they the type to like cancel someone immediately over some allegations?
They don't really seem to be getting the same amount of backlash for it. But from what I can tell and from what I've seen, they seem to have a really toxic fan base. So maybe that's why people haven't made videos. So hopefully this video doesn't get like mass.
This is such a cope. They have a toxic fan base. Mean comments. Maybe people are afraid that the fans are gonna out them as gay, but what does that even mean? Like they're scared to speak out. This is a big thing people always do to like make videos seem more high stakes. It's like they're scared to speak out because of the fan base. That does exist sometimes. Maybe I'm just ill-informed and it is more crazy. Arin Hansen N-word compilation, greatest hits.
Reported or anything. And thankfully the Grumps Reddit has a really easy Reddit thread to go over about like most of the stuff they've done. So I'll leave a link to it in the description if you want to go over it yourself, because there's some things I'm not going to go into depth with or just might not talk about at all. But it doesn't mean they haven't done it. It's just that there's going to be a lot I'm going to talk about.
Bro, we're 2 minutes into the video. I don't even know.
That being said, let's start with the first thing, the time they doxed a fan. During one of their videos, they used someone's guide for their Sonic Adventure playthrough. In the video, Dan says the guy's full name and leads to them being doxed by their...
During one of the Knuckles stages in Sonic Adventure, Arin and Dan read a walkthrough to help find the location of 3 emerald pieces. Not realizing the locations were random, Arin and Dan were unhappy with the helpfulness of the walkthrough. Eventually, Dan says the person's full actual name out loud and even commented saying, if he gets a wave of hate from our fans, won't he be surprised? This allowed Grumps fans to dock the person. The entire situation was handled when Dan apologized. Leadfoot himself commented and said things were cool, and the video was re-uploaded to censor his name. I mean, it sounds like it wasn't like an aggressive, like malicious doxing attempt. It was like an accident. I do handle that more responsibly, but they probably at the time were not thinking specifically like this is going to destroy their whole stuff, you know, their whole life. If he gets a wave of hate from our fans, won't he be surprised? I mean, they're not talking about him like getting his life ruined right there, right?
After this, Dan apologized. They had a talk with the guy and he accepted it, and they re-uploaded the video with the guy's name bleeped out because mistakes do happen and they seem sorry for it. He made a really long apology for on Reddit. But then
this dude's voice makes me fall asleep. This dude's voice makes me sound like I'm listening to a child who puffs glue.
They took the apology back and acted like they never had to re-upload the video with the bleep.
Oh yeah? It was the one where we were like making fun of that walkthrough from like 1992. Like we gave too much information. People figured out who the guy was. People were saying like, we doxed him.
Which just makes the original apology disingenuous as hell, which isn't a great look for them. Next is the dream...
It's so brief, which isn't a great look for them. Isn't a great look for them. I mean, even in that, do they seem to be walking it back that much? Like, are they really like discrediting the entire apology, or are they just saying like, we're sorry what happened, but we didn't really dox him. It was accidental. It was some information that maybe we shouldn't have read out, but we didn't foresee it leading to that point, right? It wasn't like a malicious thing. Not a great look. Yeah, I like the painting nails emojis in chat.
This is the Dream Daddy drama. I knew what Dream Daddy was. It was a really big like dating sim back in 2017. All the YouTubers played it.
It seems that way. I don't think you can totally blame content creators for their fans.
It's a gay dating sim where you date dads if you didn't know. But what I didn't know is that Game Grumps were the people that created it.
I'm sure you knew, Prison Hey Luke.
I thought it was just some small indie game developers that made it big, but no, it was actually them. But for some context, it involves Oni Plays friends or co-hosts. He's another YouTuber that used to be good friends with the Game Grumps, but for some reason they're not as close. I don't know why, and I'm not going to pretend to. But his 2 co-hosts, Ding Dong and Julian, are the main center of this one. And it's also important to note that they are gay, but that will be important in a bit. It all started when Julian said on Steam and later on Tumblr that the game feels like virtue signaling.
It's been a day. Yeah, it's been a day. Oh, it's been a day. Oh my, it's just been a day. It's just been a day. They're not close because of an ex-girlfriend? Oh, do they fight over a girl? And sometimes that stuff really happens. This dude really needs to blow his nose. You want to hear me blow my nose? Okay, sure. And nothing happened because I have a deviated septum and my nose is messed up, bro.
And that was made for social brownie points. But that if it helps people be more comfortable with themselves, that they don't mind. So after those came out, Brian, one of Dan's band members, and Arin's wife, Suzy, went into damage control. They started saying stuff like how it wasn't made for social brownie points and how they never even played the game, which they did.
We need to rewind this a bit.
He's another YouTuber that used to be good friends with the Game Grumps, but for some reason they're not as
This
close.
drama is good, trust me? Okay.
I don't know why, and I'm not going to pretend to. But his two co-hosts, Ding Dong and Julian, are the main center of this one, and it's also important to note that they are gay.
It's also important to note that they are gay. Just the way he said it was a little bit... a little bit sussy-wussy. Ding Dong VG. Is this channel gone? Game Grumps abuses their employee. Is this channel just gone? The most popular video on the Ding Dong channel is called Up.
I took a break for a couple of months to cool off since a lot was going on in RL.
RL is an abbreviation for real life.
Having time to breathe helped a lot, and while I've mostly been focusing on game work, I'm hoping to still juggle in things here and there. You can find me streaming on Twitch every so often. I may stream what I'm currently working on.
Okay, whatever, I don't care. Seems like a fine dude. Seems normal. I know, okay, I vaguely know Ding Dong had some giant drama with Bo Blacks. Like, he, didn't like that Bo Blacks made a video talking about the drama or something. Like, he didn't like that he made this video. Ding Dong criticizes Bo Blacks' video about him talking about his experience with the Game Grumps. On January 9th, 2023, Bo Blacks uploaded a video about a stream clip of Ding Dong where he talked about his experiences with the Game Grumps from around 2017. He also talked about this on stream on one of his secondary channels on January 8th, 2023. So this is the video. Game Grumps abuses their employee Ding Dong. Ding Dong is Game Grumps' horror story. I should note the original January 9th video was a full stream clip that was linked in the description by Bo Blacks. Pinned a comment that was made about 2 days before Bo Blacks' original video came out, and warned not to look for ammunition in the stream clip. Pinned before or after Bo Blacks' original video came out. So what was the drama? What was the issue? What was the conflict? What are we mad at? Reminder, if you're watching this video looking for ammunition, you're part of the problem, and Jay want you to seriously go away. This was years ago, and this was a vent session. Leave them alone. So are they just like, we release all this public info, but we don't want people talking about it? To Ding Dong's response to Bo Blacks' video and the situation in general, as Ding Dong later criticized the video in a YouTube comment. I'm not your clickbait. You clearly didn't have any respect for this, considering that I said I didn't want it re-uploaded and heavily condensed for the sake of removing context so people can repurpose it for drama. I mean, I understand this a little bit, these first few sentences, that's fair, but at the same time, I feel like if you make something public, like, people have a right to be able to talk about it and even condense it a little bit and, like, talk about the situation. I had a solid half hour at the end of the stream going into depth about people who were going to flock to recontextualizing this to villainize the people they wanted. I even directly acknowledged that the people named had done the least and that people need to stop targeting them. Yet here you are trying to perpetuate an incorrect narrative for spectacle and clicks. The stream is 15 hours and people have been cutting it down to only 20 to 50 minutes to prioritize Game Grumps. Your disclaimer doesn't pair well with an exaggerated clickbait thumbnail, as well as ads running on the video. A thirsty, desperate YouTube audience needing conflict to monetize is never going to prioritize treating any of this realistically or with respect. We already dealt with this since 2017 with people deliberately muddying the narrative since they want ammunition against creators they don't like. Knock it off. So what is the thing with Ding Dong? Was Bo Blacks in the wrong here, or was he in the right? Ding Dong thought Bo Blacks' video misframed the drama when it was basically a 30-minute showcase of a live stream where Ding Dong talks about the drama. So was it just like a BS issue? It was kind of just a nothing burger. Bo Blacks saw a bag and took it. That's about it. Was it? But if he took that bag, was it like wrong? Was he wrong to take that bag, or was it a justified taking of the bag? Basically, Ding Dong and Julian vented on stream. They didn't want people to spin it and turn it into huge internet drama. Well, I feel like you can't really, like, the second you make something public, like, it might become drama. If people lie about it, that's one thing, but if people just talk about it, you can't really get mad. After a long day of work, Kanye West goes to his Kanye nest to take his Kanye rest. He wakes up feeling his Kanye best. Then he gets Kanye dressed into his Kanye vest. Very true sushi curry trash. Thank you for the comment. Say ding dong again. Ding dong. It's always morally right to get the bag. Not always. Bo Black said the full stream isn't public anywhere. If it was, I would have made this video off of that and try to keep all context intact. The only access I had to the stream I had was through the 1 hour cut, as I clearly stated that in the video. So any context or request to not repost your stream wasn't included in the source I got this from. I had no way of knowing the stream was originally 15 hours unless you were lying or severely cut out of context by the guy who first cut your stream. I failed to see all my videos pushing a false narrative. You said there was workplace abuse with you within the Game Grumps office as an employee, but title is a condensed version of that statement. Nowhere in the video do I say who within the Game Grumps company is. I'm not deliberately muddying the narrative. narratives target specific was, I would have blamed Arin or Dan or whoever else, but I never mentioned their names once within the video. I just show what you said and that's it. Ding Dong, oh please, you know exactly what you're doing with that title of the video. If Ding Dong said to just leave it alone, why not respect his wishes? You're fueling a fire, but renaming it. But you're fueling a fire, but renaming it to help. I mean, I feel like he doesn't have to respect his wishes. Like they're basically saying like Ding Dong doesn't want people to talk about it. But like you put stuff out in the public eye, like people might talk about it. I don't think you have a right. Okay, this comment section is. I see honestly what Ding Dong's points were. The main issue isn't people re-uploading or talking about it. It's the fact commentary channels need to put out false info and turn it into some kind of spectacle. Like Bo Blacks can't say I'm doing this to help you when he monetizes the video and cuts down parts. What was the thing that Bo Blacks like didn't include? What did he lie about or misrepresent? Internet Anarchist said Tom, your Bobby Lee video was great. Had no idea his lore was that deep. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, he's.
That will be important in a bit. It all started when Julian said on stream and later on Tumblr that the game feels like virtue signaling and that it was made for social brownie points, but that if it helps people be more comfortable with themselves that they don't mind. So after those came out, Brian, one of Dan's band members, and Arin's wife Suzy went into damage control. They started saying stuff like how it wasn't.
Please don't beat up on the Dream Daddy team. They've been working like crazy for months and the game you will get will be fantastic. Also, anyone dismissing the game as a cash grab is 100% wrong. I work next to the devs. There's a lot of love and effort going
made
into
for
it.
Social brownie points, and how they never even played the game. They did. They had the game installed, proving that they were lying in that they were given the demo. But it got a lot worse than this.
Who cares? What does any of this mean anything? This drama is so like what they have a lot of controversy. What are even all these controversies? Everyone say thank you, Vernon, for handing out water to the people that were outside for hours, but for real, he and a few others were busting their ass to make us company. Thanks, dude.
Start sending people out with sunscreen and water. But also got close by the cops because of how dangerous it was. To be fair, everything so far hasn't been directly because of the Game Grumps people. Taking back an apology is terrible, especially when you did cause this person pain. And you should know how many people were shot.
What is even going on? Like, what is the... I still don't even understand what the issue is that they did.
Like buying things for $3 and then selling them for $80, which is insane. It'd be one thing if it was...
I mean, that's not great, but I feel like that's just like... Isn't that what all of eBay is? People just buying things and then selling it for a price that they shouldn't, and then like people still buy it. Like, if she was pretending to make it, that's one thing. But if she's just buying it and then reselling it, and people are willing to buy it for that price, like I don't really see the issue. Unless she lied about the circumstances in which she came into contact with those items, right? You keep skipping through the video. I haven't skipped 1 second. I've been listening to the whole thing.
Overpriced things that they actually designed or made. It'd still be scummy, but at least you could say they're not lying to your audience.
Alex for 2 says fan since high school, both 20 now. I want to start my own YouTube.
He lied about creating it. Shows how little they care about their actual fans. Cheap products and mark them up by a lot. Like buying things for $3 and then selling them for $80, which is insane. It'd be one thing if it was overpriced things that they actually designed or made. It'd still be scummy, but at least you could say they're not lying to your audience. But the fact that she lied about creating it shows how little they care about.
Oh, did she lie about creating it? So she did scam people. She pretended to make it. Can I find this I don't know, Rant Grumps Reddit? Sub still active? Whoa, it is kind of active. So they're still around, I guess. I've been told that I was never a Game Grumps fan. I've been told that Game Grumps was Kino when JonTron was around. Is that real? I do like JonTron.
About their actual fans.
He dinged when he should have donged. That's true.
And then there's Dan's behavior. Dan has always been a sexually charged guy. His stories usually revolve around like sexual stuff, you know. But one thing he's been doing is the good old ghosting women after having sex with them. Now I want to note that this isn't illegal, and as far as I can tell, he isn't going after minors. He goes after women that are a lot younger than him too, but there's nothing questionable consent-wise as far as I can tell. But he goes after fans because there's a power dynamic between them, and he sleeps with them.
He ghosts girls? Based? Okay, like why am I supposed to be mad at that? Yeah, girls like successful guys. Girls like guys that like have money and like big YouTube channels. This is a problem we're criticizing people for. He sleeps around. This guy is probably like pro-sex work. He's probably like pro-sexual revolution. The power dynamic. There was a power dynamic. What's wrong with a power dynamic? There's always a power dynamic. If you're an adult woman and you agree to have sex with a guy and he doesn't talk to you after, you weren't abused.
Using the fact that he said
underage girls. No, he didn't. He said they're not underage. He said they were younger than him, but not underage. He literally said that.
Their actual fans. And then there's Dan's behavior. Dan has always been a sexually charged guy. His stories usually revolve around like sexual stuff, you know. But one thing we're
gonna rewatch again so you can
see is the good old ghosting women after having sex with them. Now I want to note that this isn't illegal, and as far as I can tell, he isn't going after minors. He goes after women that are a lot younger than him too.
To fans and exclusive exclusively to younger women that were at least 15 years younger than him, if not. Okay, but they're adults, right? They're not kids.
Nothing questionable consent-wise as far as I can tell. But he goes after fans because there's a power dynamic between them, and he sleeps with them, using the fact that he is their idol to sleep with them and then just leaving them afterward. Even when he promises that he will actually be in a relationship with them.
Yeah, that's just what guys do, dude. You think he's the first guy to lie to a girl? You think he's the first guy to be like, oh, baby, well, I love you, and then he just fucks her and you think he's the first guy? No. Cancer. He's not the first guy to do that, and you shouldn't be mad at that. Okay, you shouldn't care. I mean, I get, dude. When you go to college, that's it's like 3 out of 10 guys. Lying is coercion. Open your eyes. The reason why your feelings get hurt is because of your expectations. If you expect the man to be your boyfriend after sleeping together on the first date, you're so naive. Yeah. Stop commenting on your mic or you're gay.
And there's whole Tumblr threads about this with a lot of proof if you want to go over it and look into it. It's just that I don't want to go too into it because this video is already going to be long enough.
13 minutes? That's really long. You're just lazy.
So it's rather...
You're just summarizing a Reddit thread. You didn't actually do anything. You're just summarizing like an email or a Reddit thread. That's
personal. Then there's a new editor, Ben. This is someone that the person that emailed me warned me about, so this is going to be fun. Ben's been doing a lot of things to turn the whole community against him. What made people turn against him originally was the time he gave someone a seizure from one of their videos.
He gave someone a seizure? He had like a flashing light? If you have epilepsy, you probably shouldn't be watching YouTube videos because you're going to have a seizure. What do you mean he gave him a seizure? Ben is an editor for Game Grumps, and since day one the response time has been mixed, with many people finding his edits annoying, intrusive, and in one case gave someone a seizure. This is such a nothing. He didn't put a content warning? I don't put content warnings. If you have like a condition like that, it's up to you to make yourself not be exposed to things that may contain crazy flashing lights. It's a YouTube video. There can be flashy lights in YouTube videos.
And I'm not over exaggerating either. Someone went to the hospital because of one of his edits. There was no warning. There was no reason for it. It just happened. And although my eyes can handle it, I can see why it would cause someone pain or even...
This is such a nothing. This guy sucks. This guy sucks. You do post harassment warnings? That's true.
Give him a seizure. And I'm not going to show it here, but if
you
want
his videos are just bad.
To it, it's on the Reddit. He's also asked for nudes from Jacob Sartorius, that 17-year-old guy that...
Wait, what?
It's on the Reddit. He's also asked...
Ben asked a current 17-year-old for nudes and claimed that he got that plus more. Is that real? He asked Jacob Sartorius for nudes? When people dug a bit further, they found out that Ben has been constantly doing this for years and even took a picture with them when they were 14. Ben deleted the tweets and people took notice, and any comments about the incident on Game Grumps videos were deleted. Eventually, Ben gave a sarcastic apology, hid any negative tweets, and blocked people before finally deleting the apology video. Is there any proof of this in here, or is this, he asked Jacob Sartorius for nudes? What is going on? Ben, Game Grumps, Jacob Sartorius. Here we go. One of our editors at Game Grumps made a series of inappropriate jokes on Twitter regarding a famous TikToker. I would not have made these jokes, nor do I think they're funny. I approached him, we had a conversation about why that sort of humor is inappropriate, and I will not tolerate it while he's an employee of Game Grumps. He understands on both fronts. So he's basically saying they're jokes, right? The first time the Game Grumps officially met Ben was during episode 16 of their Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess playthrough. Fast forward to 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, a state of quarantine had been placed over the majority of the world. However, on the Game Grumps sub, a different controversy was brewing. The ramifications of this could be quite serious if true. Some people claim a series of Twitter posts made over several years shows it. So this is him with Jacob Sartorius out here popping bottles with Jacob Sartorius. This is the selfie of them together, okay. Oh, this is a different picture. Why did I think this was Manny Pacquiao? The picture states, "You look a lot like my ex-girlfriend." Right above these words, he writes, "Why do I think he was..." A post was shared from Jacob Sartorius. "They don't appreciate until you in a casket," he says. Penis Bailey writes that his account was temporarily locked due to the tweet. He says, "Jacob Sartorius at I am Black Bear. Let's do meth and drive off a cliff." Is it okay to request a 17-year-old male YouTuber post news to the timeline if it's a joke, is what he said. I mean, I assume it's a joke. I hope it's a joke. Is there any proof that he has like actually engaged in that kind of behavior? That is kind of a crazy thing to say though. At Penis Bailey shares another of Jacob's posts. "I want to be proof that it's possible," says Jacob. "Me jacking off doing a handstand butt naked at Trader Joe's in the frozen turkey section." Ben has been criticized as suppressing the issue because he's deleting the offending posts. Some believe he has control over Game Grumps media posts as well, because comments asking or criticizing Ben regarding this have disappeared. They just appear to be dumb, not very tasteful jokes from someone trying really hard to be an edgelord on social media. I'd probably agree with that. The tweets are creepy, but from all apparent evidence from the alleged victim, they're just stupid posts from one random dude he took a picture with once. Ask yourself, are you really okay with Arin letting a man who constantly hounded a boy from the age of 13 for news to continue to work for him, to the point of downvoting and reporting any post that brings it up? I mean, that's not completely true, but he did make some really not good tweets. Really not good. We looked into that one. It was kind of like dumb.
That's for nudes from Jacob Sartoris, that 17-year-old guy that sung the Sweatshirt song. Now, he says it's satirical, but besides the fact that it's not even funny, like not even remotely funny,
You would know what funny is. You're a really funny dude. I hear a lot of funny jokes coming from you, buddy.
it's just not funny at all. He's continued to not only tweet at him, but he also keeps making sexual remarks towards him. It's really disturbing. And when people started calling him out on Twitter and YouTube, he deleted the comments from those people. He would then go on to give a sarcastic apology to people and then block them. He later gave a final apology on the Reddit, which is better than nothing, but doesn't mean a lot when you've been running away from it. There's some other stuff like the hypocrisy they've done, like Arin being against the N-word and then saying it a lot.
This video does a better job of explaining this than I ever will. In some, Arin chews out Axl Rose for using the N-word. The rest of the video is a compilation of Arin saying the N-word. This includes the time he dropped off a person who was black and had to say the word 30 times to get it out of his system. Dan is more alpha than Andrew Tate. Thank you for the dono, Frank. Cats of Flogging for 5 says they were joke nudes.
Either.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Tom, if you wear a flat brim hat backwards like that prankster guy, you can put somebody in a self-defense situation. True.
Completely fair. People can change, and they did
Bro said it
delete a
low
lot of
pitch and
videos
everything.
featuring racist stuff. Whether to hide what they did or not is up to interpretation.
They were doing racist stuff.
Racist past. But I don't think this is completely fair. People can change, and they did delete a lot of videos featuring racist stuff. Whether to hide what they did or not is
What do you mean racist stuff? Like they were the CEO of racism or they made some jokes?
up to interpretation. But it's what people wanted, so you can't really complain when they do what people want. And I don't think they're racist people. I think they're scummy. But I don't think they're racist. I think they're just... But what I do think is scummy was the time Arin also started beef with Sir Pelo. If you don't know who that is, he's that over-the-top animator that does those weird voices. What's funny is that the video wasn't even about Arin or Game Grumps in general that made Arin mad.
Princess Curdy says, love it. Jesus.
About those Storytime animators.
Fat boy, it is Fat Boy winter. It's time to beef up for December. We're gonna have obese November.
But Arin tweeted out against them, saying how the now opinions are. What's funny is that the video wasn't even about Arin or Game Grumps in general that made Arin mad. It was a meme video about those Storytime animators.
This is mean. I got made fun of like this all the time when I make cartoons, and it sucked. It didn't give me a thick skin or make me a better artist or make me think more about what I was doing. It just hurt. The fact that all the people patting you on the back for this cartoon are old school Newgrounds types with very few SDAs commenting. You can use this thread to pretend it's all in good fun, but it's not fun. It's mean. It hurts. Why is Arin Hansen so sensitive? He's just mad about the fact he got made fun of in like a little animation real quick. Can I use your hate to wipe? Yeah, you can use my hate to wipe. On a real note, the Game Grumps sweep hella hard. Look at what they did to Boblacks. They clearly weaponized their fans. I don't exactly know what they did to Boblacks. I don't totally understand it. I'm not like a Game Grumps fan, so I'm not totally familiar with the situation. I'm like, Ego Raptor being sensitive, lol. Is that like typical for him? His sensitivity has been enabled by his sensitive fans. There's soy running through his veins. He literally can't help it. The thing I remember about Ego Raptor was he was in this like Newgrounds documentary about Newgrounds animators. He was in this. What was the name of this video? I don't remember where I watched it. It was like a documentary about Newgrounds and online animation. It was, I don't really know the whole deal. Ego Raptor versus Twitter. Arin Hansen issues with Senor Pelo.
All right, guys, we got a lot to talk about, so let's get right into this.
Animation deteriorated because of this. For the love of God. Stop pestering him to come back to the animation community.
You and they should be able...
Against them, saying how the video was
Normalize
mean.
weaponizing your fans.
Now, opinions are opinions, and I can't blame them for having an opinion, but I think it's a dumb opinion, because it's just a really goofy animation. It's not really insulting. I mean, it's over the top, but I wouldn't say any of it's like that serious.
We'll have more stories?
And I just don't see how you can get mean across it. Maybe a little bit of
That's
criticism.
me, by the way. In this I'm in this animation by Senor. There's a part where like I show, yeah, that's LS Mark.
Oh no, what do I do? What do I do? Okay. What? Are you gonna scream? What are you doing? You
I
just
remember when this happened, I thought it was pretty funny.
Shut your fire! Shut your fire! Bah, 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 bah. Oh, is this piss? Give us another try, Elsa! Give us a try!
Where do I pop in again? Did I miss it?
Catch me!
I'm the turkey.
Oh no!
Yeah, this one's me. It's Turkey Tom. It's Turkey Tom. I'm in it for longer, apparently. I didn't even realize. I thought I was in it for like just one scene. Yeah, this is the scene where I come out.
Hi,
That's Daft Pina.
guys.
That's the right opinion.
Hey guys, it's tea
And
time.
they made him like fat. That's me. What is Daft Peanut up to these days? He's a cat now, I guess. My channel is all about indie art and animation. Subscribe to see interviews. So it looks like he's just doing animation stuff. I mean, good for him if that's what he's gonna do. He's not gonna do drama stuff anymore. I feel like
character-driven shows. For the characters of the
after whatever
pilots,
happened
the
with him, he
action
shouldn't really be
archetypes.
involved in
Some
drama
that he's
stuff
drawn
anyway,
and written
so,
for. Becky would be the outcast.
probably for the
Ella
best
would
that
be
he's not
Becky's
involved
close friend.
anymore.
Nova the
Daft Peanut fell off so hard, I guess. If he repents, he relents his actions for... I barely remember what the last drama was with Ellis Mark and Veronica. There was some drama he was in. Just Stop was in it too. I think Just Stop made a video that was like trying to convince Mark to break up with his girlfriend or something. Peanut was the actual mastermind or something.
Criticism or maybe like joking on him, but I wouldn't call it like mean. And I especially don't agree with comparing it to old Newgrounds. This doesn't even hold a candle to edgy old Newgrounds. Not even close. No way in hell. Even then, Newgrounds was never that bad to begin with. At least when I used it. But like even if it was comparable, it's just not even. Pelo apologized for it, but a bunch of Arin's old Newground friends and
Well, Arin, I seriously didn't mean any harm. I don't mind them making their stuff. The last thing I want to do is hurt. I even watched a few Storytime animators. I even tried to imitate the style of animation to respond. I know how you feel. Some people make fun of my videos too. I know some jokes and some are being mean. If you really think I tried to hurt the STA community, then I'm just a joke. It's like a ridiculous video. Imagine if at the time I had made a video like complaining about being made a screaming Tom head from Tom and Jerry attached to a bird. Like imagine if I did that. That would be ridiculous.
animators came to defend him. Because at the end of the day, it was just a funny video he put months
Just Stop threw Daft Peanut under the bus. Yeah, I guess so.
of work into. And I think Arin
Is this John from Fish Tank? John sounds better than this guy. Come on. He's got more bass in his voice.
gave him an undeserved amount of backlash for it.
Real. He did
But when
own you?
people started
True, he
going
owned you.
against Arin, he apologized for it. But not in any type of good way, because it's only him talking about himself, and it's not really an apology to Sir Pelo. There's also the time they missed school grumps, which isn't controversial itself. And when people are asking why they weren't doing it,
School
he
grumps.
apologized in a video and said how they ran out of time for it because they were doing other stuff, and he blamed his mental health too. He was doing a lot at the time, so I don't really have...
Why is Arin Hansen crying instead? Like maybe I can find the video. Arin Hansen is depressed. Game Grumps compilation. Every time Dan calls him Big Cat, my heart swells.
Yeah,
At least I tried.
Okay, here we go again.
God.
Arin Hansen apology AI.
Hey, just wanted to come completely clear on all this, and of course, to say sorry to John and everyone else. You know, all the lovelies, our fans, anyone who's been a part of our community. It's been rough, but, you know, I think an apology is worth it right now, you know? I wholeheartedly apologize to John.
He defended Anissa Jones, Big L. Do you mean Jamha? Obviously, this is fake. This is fake audio. This is AI. But there was like a falling out. Gamer from Mars did a video. Like JonTron was like one of the original Game Grumps, and then he had like a falling out, and they like don't do stuff anymore, right? Like they don't do videos together for some reason. How JonTron almost ruined his career. This picture of Destiny.
have a problem with that if it was true. But during another recording, Dan says how they have time for it, and Arin just says no.
We forgot to play Ghoul Grump stuff.
Yeah.
What do you mean that's okay? People are excited about it.
Yeah, well, we just don't have time.
Yes, we do. We're playing Mario Party.
What? No, we're playing Mario Party, though.
You're a funny man.
I'm just trying to cover for the fact that I completely forgot.
Hey, that I haven't hailed all the info around the JonTron breakup. What is the reason for the Game Grumps breakup? Can anybody give me some legitimate facts rather than just speculation? Fans were legitimately angry they didn't do Ghoul Grumps and got pretty vile. Why'd they get so vile that they didn't do... I thought it was School Grumps. Is it Ghoul Grumps? Game Grumps Stories from School. Is it Ghoul Grumps? Is this like the Halloween thing? Okay, Ghoul Grumps. It's like the Halloween thing.
I'm cool.
What?
You're right. Whoa.
And it sucks. No, you're not.
No.
Are these guys really funny or something?
Are you talking to me? Whoa.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Game Grumps is like the original Super Mega, right? They're like the OG formula for like a couple people sitting around. A couple soy guys sitting around. Danny punched a baby. Maybe he needed to. Before you get mad at someone for punching a baby, ask what the baby did to deserve being punched.
Also, that apology he made was monetized.
Super Mega was born in the Game Grumps office. Yeah, I know this for some reason. Because I did a video about them. I wonder if there's another video coming out about them.
Which instantly makes it disingenuous in my eyes. Is the time he called out
I wonder if I know more than I'm letting on.
someone for using the "goddamn it, Ross"
love
joke on
shaking
Twitter.
babies.
You know, that staple Game Grumps
It was a
quote that
self-defense-
everyone knows.
It was a self-defense
which, if you
situation.
guessed,
Sometimes
that-
an infant puts you in a self-defense situation. You have no choice. Taekwondo tactic to take him into deep water.
the person harassed by his fans, you'd be right. And it's also hypocritical.
Just kidding.
Because he's selling shirts that say it to other people online to have, even though he doesn't want other people saying it because they're not personal friends or whatever. Why can't other people wear shirts about it? Arin's also been doing a lot of false advertising for a bunch of stuff he's been selling to his fans. Like the time he faked finding an unfinished game and then he ported it to PC, when in reality it was just them advertising the new Soviet jump game. And I'll admit it's creative advertisement, but it isn't fair to not warn people about it just being an ad or something they at least made. I mean, if they made it more clear or gave a warning at the end of it that it was just like
so
a
did they lie
ad,
about some
it would have been
ads?
fine, but they didn't. But what
sounds
made it
not
a lot
good.
worse is something they did a few days later. He started tweeting about how his uncle made a book and
Your own family wrote a book and you have to be forced to promote it. Meanwhile, you fund a game and make a ton of videos to lead up. Please don't realize how corporate that appears.
now his mom's making him advertise it. Now, like I said before, if it would have been
Hey, so my uncle and mom wrote a book. My mom's making me promote it. So here you go.
clear it was a joke, it would have been fine. But he didn't make it clear.
Oh, so it was a joke. Well, just because he didn't make it. I mean, I feel like that makes it kind of funny. I feel like that makes it kind of funny. If
It would have been fine.
It's not
but
false
he didn't make
advertisement.
it clear, and people were generally worried that Arin's family has a toxicity problem.
People were genuinely worried that Arin's family has a toxicity problem. I hope you guys think my family has a toxicity problem. And I hope you don't care. I hope you think my dad beats me every day. He even though I'm an adult that lives not at home, I hope you're under the impression that my dad beats me every day.
Because people have a lot of toxic families, and being forced to advertise something by your family doesn't sound that comfortable. And when people found out about it, they got mad because they show
I feel like
respect
there is probably a good criticism in there somewhere, but person make Luke's research and everything is just his delivery is so bad.
to your
bad. I can't
fans.
even
If he
tell
meant
what
it
the
as a
problem
joke,
is
that's
yet.
fine, but you got to explain that. You don't double down and
Thank you for the
insult
5
them for
minutes and
being
no
worried
Connor.
about you and your family's relationship.
Allegedly.
Doing this despite them just seems really petty. And those are all the major points. There are also some minor ones, like Arin saying secondhand smoke isn't harmful.
I guess that's bad. Am I trusting them to have the most like accurate and based and like they're not doctors, they're game grumps. This is in the cancellation document that they say secondhand smoke is not harmful, really?
And the fact that he made a bunch of false claims with no evidence to make himself look, saying that Game Grumps is the fourth.
We've produced over 6,000 of the 4th most watched gaming show in North America, co-produced a 6-episode serial with Dan Harmon, produced 2017's second best-selling indie game, produced 3 #1 Nielsen charting comedy albums, multi-million viewed 6-episode reality
Fourth
series.
most watched show of that year, and other stuff like that, which I can't find any proof on those claims, and he couldn't either. And if there's anything else important, I might go over another time.
Okay, but if your claim is that, like, proof on those claims, well, like, if you're accusing him of lying, the burden of...
But this video is already going on long enough.
Yo, at the end, he gave a shout-out to Lion Maker and Crazy.
No Lion Maker or Cryotic.
Promoting them.
And they're probably better than Eli Socrates.
Dude, he literally did. He shouted them out.
It's just that they affect a lot more people.
Yeah, because they're great content creators, right?
I don't like them, but I didn't know it was this bad. Although they're not the worst people I've talked about. They're no Lion Maker or Cryotic.
Well, they might suck, but at least they're not a pedophile. Right. And if you liked this video, consider becoming a member. For $5 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts, unreleased videos, and the members-only Minecraft server. Thanks so much to all of my YouTube members who fund my content.